Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. So, first off, I would like to say that actually I know your story, and you was one of the people that actually inspired me to believe in myself to become a coach. So, first, I want to say thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice of you. I'm so glad that my story could inspire you.
You did. So, could you first of all introduce yourself, and then I will go and ask you a few questions if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. I'd love to. Okay, so I'm Natasha Clarke. I'm a business and mindset coach for female entrepreneurs that want to transform their life by building their dream business.
Perfect. So, first of all, what got you into coaching?
Good question. It wasn't. My story is not one of those stories where it's like I always knew I wanted to be a coach. Like that wasn't the situation. I actually kind of going back. I was actually a professional dancer, and that was my dream. That is all I wanted to do. Like in school, they'd say like, "What's your backup plan?" I was like, "I don't need one. I'm going to be a professional dancer. Like that is it." There was no plan B. And unfortunately, that didn't work out due to I've got degenerating disc disease. So I had to have major surgery. And at the time, I felt like my whole life was over. I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't have anything else to back up with this. So I had to go through that really dark kind of point in my life. And then I decided to go more into singing because I loved singing. I was trained at the Brit School, which was performing arts. So dancing, acting, singing is what I loved, but dancing was like my thing. When you just know you're so good at something, where singing was a bit like, oh, I don't know how good I'm at this. I was never a Mariah Carey. So kind of done that, got into a girl band, got signed by Universal, was about to literally launch it out there. I was like, yes, this is what my life was meant to be like. And then I had to have more back surgery. And I was like, really? Like, come on. I thought I was going to be a dancer. Then I thought it was going to be in the girl band. And unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to happen for me. And I kind of fell into modeling. But I never felt happy. I never felt fulfilled. I was never one of these people that like, yeah, I'm really content with my life. I was like, is this it? Is this it? I would be going on a tube to London crying, not wanting to go in. And it's not anything to do with put down people that want to do modeling. Modeling's an incredible industry if you want to do it, if that is your dream and that's your aspiration, amazing. But when it's not, and you're kind of fighting between, I should be really grateful because I've got an amazing job that loads of people would like to have, I get paid well, but I'm not happy. And I remember, especially with my back, I would, you've always got to put a smile on your face that it's a job at the end of the day. You can't be like, oh, I'm in a lot of pain. They don't care. Time's money, money's time. You just need to get the job done. And I remember I'd be like getting changed and I'd be behind the curtain and that tears would be running from my eyes and I'd be thinking, is this my life? Like, I've got to do this job because I need the money. And it really got me thinking. I'd be racking my brain to think, what can I do? What can I do that I enjoy? And I loved business. Like I always loved the business side of things. Even in the girl band, when we were talking about contracts, it got me excited, like having business meetings and going, right, no, I don't want to have a 360 deal. All of that I absolutely loved. So I was like, okay, I'll have my own modeling agency. I know how to be a model. I know the brands. I know how to do this. Easy. Like in my head, I was like, this is an easy way to make money. Yeah, it was far from easy. It was like I was working part-time modeling as well as doing the agency. I would send the perfect girl for the perfect job with the perfect measurements and she wouldn't get the job. So I'd be working before, doing my own modeling, afterwards, weekends, not making any money, if anything, get myself into debt because I was pumping more money into the business to try and make it happen. And it was when I'd really kind of sat with myself and was like, what do you really want to do, Tash? And I was like, I always knew deep down, but I was just scared to say it. And I was like, coach, I want to help other people. But then you get that barrier that comes up. Who would want to be coached by me? Who's going to listen to me? Little old Tash, I'm not no Tony Robbins or Louise Hay. So you kind of have those niggling, limiting beliefs that come up for you and it kind of takes over and you go, no, I'm not going to do it. So I was never one of these ones that always wanted to be a coach, but I always kind of deep down wanted, but I was kind of scared to admit it. And then as soon as I did, that was it. Then I went all in.
I think it's right what you say, though, you've got to do what makes you happy. Yes, a job is a job and you get paid, it pays your bills, it's amazing. But I believe, especially in this day and age, we should be able to do what we enjoy and what we love,
Yeah.
we have passion about.
Yeah.
And I can't believe you did all that while in pain.
Yeah.
Like craziness. So how do you get through your days with pain?
Okay, so there isn't a day where I'm not in pain. So, and I talk about this a lot with like my membership site, because obviously it's all to do with mindset. And it's, I can truly sit here today and say, from the age of 18, when I first experienced the pain, so I was doing a split leap, so splits in the air, fell down on my knee. From that day when I was 18 till this day now where I'm 35, I am in pain every day. It's actually got worse. Did I ever think that I could have a day without morphine? No. Like, I used to take 200 milligrams of morphine every day just to get me out of bed. And I can solely put it down to mindset. I'd go back to the doctors and I'd be like, oh my gosh, the pain is so, so bad. They would just say, and they're doing their job, but they would just say, go back on the morphine. Maybe we should up the doses. Maybe we should try this. And I'm like, no, 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 I want to be drug free. And they would just look at me like, you have to get real. You're not going to ever be able to be drug free. And I am. And I solely put that down to mindset. Like, my mind, don't forget, your mind's a muscle. So the more you work on it, the more resilient and stronger it's going to get. It's like the six pack. For example, you start with nothing and then you exercise and you're eating really well and you're going for it and you're going for it. Guess what's going to happen? The fat's going to shred and your muscle's going to come out. That's how I feel with my mind. And I feel like my morning routine, which isn't so much a morning routine at the moment when you've got a 3-month-old baby, your routine happens whenever he's napping, right? But it's a non-negotiable for me. There's no excuses. I don't go, oh, I don't do my mindset work because I've got a baby. No, I make sure I do that mindset work. Why? Because for me, I need to fill up my own tank. I need to make sure that I'm on point here so I can deal with the day with pain, because I know that, unless you're in pain, no one's really going to understand it. And especially if it's not something that's an open wound or a broken arm that people can physically see. And just because you can put a smile on your face and put makeup on doesn't mean you're not in pain. What it means is, for me, I'm able to deal with that pain that I have every day now because of the mindset work. If I didn't do it, I would literally probably just want to stay in bed all day, crying, feeling sorry for myself. No one understands what it's like to be me. I've got to take morphine. I've got, having that pity party, which I was in for so many years.
I think you're right, especially when you said about, it made me smile when you said about the doctors. And I agree, it is their job.
Mm-hmm.
But when they just, take a pill, take some medication, and I know from experience that I'm not on any medication. And the doctors look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, well, you can't be in that much pain, can you, if you're not having medication? I said, I am, and it wasn't until I think I watched one of your lives that I realised that actually the reason I am medication free is because of my mindset. I didn't put the two together. I just put that, well, no medication works for me. And if it does, it doesn't touch me as much as I would like it to. So there's no point. I just put it down to, okay, it's just strength and just determined and just get through it. But I didn't realise, put the two together and realise it was my mindset.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you even hear these stories of these guys in, for example, in the army, and they are like running on a broken ankle. And can you imagine the pain, the severity of that pain and they get asked so much, well, how did you get through it? How? Mindset. I had it in my head. Because listen, it doesn't matter how much times I tell myself I'm not in pain, I'm not in pain, I'm not in pain. I'm not talking about that fluffiness. Like, that's not going to, just because I tell myself I'm happy or I'm rich or I'm pain free, that's going to happen. No, you've got to do that inner work. That's not what I mean. When I say about mindset work, you have to ask yourself, what are you doing on a daily basis that is consistent? You can't just rock up one day, do a bit of meditation and go, Natasha Clarke said that I wouldn't be in pain, or Natasha Clarke said I'd have a successful business, or she said I'd be abundant financially. No, you've got to be consistent. You've got to keep going. And it's those days where it's hard, it's tough. You may not have slept so well. You're probably not eating great because of pain, or stress in your life. It don't have to just be pain. Stress in your life, financial worries, children, whatever it may be. You have to make those decisions to yourself. Okay, I can sit here for the day and feel sorry for myself, eat crap, but it's just going to be a vicious circle that's just going to go round and round and round. You, and only you, need to be that person that goes, right, something needs to change up right now. I need to invest in myself and need to make sure that I'm being consistent in taking this action that's going to get me to my goal. So many people say, oh, I haven't got there. Well, tell me what you're doing. Oh, it might be in business. I done one Facebook Live. Yeah. And I posted. Yeah, no. You got to be consistent. You've got to make sure that you're doing what you're doing purposely with an intent for that desired outcome.
You're so right. So what has kept you fighting? What has kept you going, basically? Because I know what it's like being in pain, and I know that some days it's tough. But what has
Yeah.
kept you fighting?
I think my drive and ambition to change other people's lives is what gets me going. And it sounds so cliche, and I'm sure you probably hear loads of coaches say it, but I think it goes so much more deeper for me, because I know that it works. I know you can transform your life. I was in debt. I was struggling with my first business, failed, had no idea what I was doing, kind of had that mindset and been told that I was just a pretty face. Maybe I should just stick to modeling, as if that was a compliment, and I do think some of them probably meant it in a compliment, but that's not, I'm more than just that, if that even that's what you think I am. For me, it was about, if I can do it for myself, I want to help transform other women's lives. And for me, it's the best thing ever when a client gets a win, or they go, oh my God, I've just got signed my first client, or I've just made this, or I've just jumped on a live, or my confidence, or I can deal with my pain, or I'm like, yes, this is why I do what I do. And I think your why has got to be so much bigger than you. When, for example, my clients come to me and I say, why are you doing? Because I want to make 100K. I want to make 10K. No. It's never about the money. It's never about the money. It does not matter how much money is in your account. What matters is the why for that purposeful, that money. What do you want to do with it? That is why. So for me, if I just made the why about myself, or I just want to kind of get through each day and be pain-free, that's great. But that's, for me, not enough substance. I need to make sure it's so much more bigger. So as soon as you put that responsibility out onto other people and you want to change their lives, definitely. And I think even more so, I always knew I had drive and ambition from a young age. I was always so driven and so ambitious, and I'm determined, and I always had that grit. But I think even more so now that I've had my son, Santiago, it's a whole different level of why you get up in the morning, why you push, why you do this. Like, I've never felt sleep deprivation the way I have, especially at the beginning stages. Wow, I was like delirious. But the fact you can get up and you can still work out, or you can still work on your business and you still do your mindset work, it's so much more bigger than me. It's for him. I want to show him that you can do, be, and achieve anything you freaking want to.
So I was going to ask you, how do you find juggling motherhood, well, a newborn baby, let's just put this, a newborn baby, and a business, and in pain?
Yeah, great question. I think you've got to love what you do, because people may say that, they might have an opinion whether this was right or wrong. But for example, I only took a month off work. I went into unexpected labor. I wasn't due Santi until October, and went in 6 weeks prior. My husband wasn't even in the country. I wasn't, I went to like my appointment just for them to like measure the bump. And she said, your waters are broken. And literally 24 hours later, I was having Santiago. So yeah, so then from that, I only really took a month off work. And listen, it's nothing to do with kind of not like I absolutely could take off as much time as I want, because I've built the business up to that level now where I've got a team, and it wasn't that financial worry that I used to have when I first had my first business. I wouldn't be able to take a day off because I'd be like, oh no, I can't afford to take the money off. It's nothing to do with that. For me, I love what I do. Being a coach is a massive part of my identity and who I am. So for me, it's not like, oh, I've got to go back to work. It's like, oh God, I was itching to get back, and so many people around me going, Tash, why are you going back so soon? I'm like, you don't get it unless you get it. When you love what you do and you're jumping in with your membership site or my Badass in Business Group program, I'm helping my clients. That to me isn't work. I love it. It's like saying, I love my son, but I shouldn't see him today. No, if I love him, I want to see him. So it's exactly like that with work. So yes, it's a balancing act. You've definitely got to have that openness to your routine can change, but you've also got to have a routine. So for example, I make the commitment to myself that I work out 3 times a week. I haven't got a commitment where I work out every day, because that's just putting too much pressure on myself. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do this and I need to do that. 3 times a day, I make sure that we go out for lots of walks to get fresh air. I make sure I do my routine morning, afternoon or evening, whenever it can kind of be fitted in. Also, I've got a great team and I've got a great support network. And I think it's even more challenging with lockdown, because it's not that, have an expectation of having a baby and kind of being having people all over and wanting to see him. And so many of my friends and family I've only seen Santiago through Zoom. Like literally that's it. And he's near enough nearly 4 months, which is sad, but it's the situation we're in. You've kind of just got to deal with it. So I think that makes the juggling situation even more challenging. But I'm lucky because I've got my husband's incredible. He's really supportive, and my mum's in my bubble, so she helps as well. So I can solidly do some work for 2 days a week. So yeah, I'm really lucky and fortunate.
That's amazing. That's absolutely, and I think you're right that because you've got the passion and because you love what you do, it's not like a job basically.
No.
You know, it's the part of your life, and I think it's a lot easier to do. It's not, you don't feel that it's, how do I put it? You've got the housework to do.
Mm.
It's not one of them things that you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you want to do. And I
Yeah.
think that's really good when you get to the stage where you enjoy what you do,
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
you didn't have a backup plan because you just enjoyed dancing and that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I
Exactly.
love that. So who inspires you and why?
Wow. Who inspires me? I have quite a few different people in my life that inspire me for different reasons, but I would say the main one's my mum. Like, she is my biggest inspiration because I think she taught us girls how to be resilient, how to love. She taught us what family stands for. Like, I come from a really close-knit family where my sisters and my mum, my life, literally, like we're so close. She also taught me that it's okay, you can balance babies and working, because my mum worked as a childminder while she raised 3 incredible kids. So I think she taught me so much, and especially when it comes to pain, because she deals with so much with pain as well. She's also got degenerative disc disease, rheumatoid arthritis, and a few more things. So to see her every day be in pain, I get it. And I think the way she just kind of gets on with things, she's really optimistic. She's not one to sit and wallow. So I think I've become the woman I am today because of what I've seen in my mum, and I've mirrored that, shadowed that. And I think that's what inspires me so much more now I've got my own son, to be that source of inspiration for him. I'd love for one day for someone to say to him, who inspires you? And if he said his mum, I'd be like, oh my God, I'd love that. So definitely, without a doubt, my mum, for sure.
I think it really, in one way, helps if you've got someone in your family that goes through pain as well.
Yeah.
That you can see, like, wow, okay, if they can do it, I can do it, because I did that, like, with my granddad. He was in pain 24/7.
Yeah.
And when my mum was younger, he was taking like 20 odd tablets in the morning, just like one set, and then more in the evening,
Yeah.
and he never once wallowed, never once. And I think it helps when you've got a family that are very, like, supportive.
Yeah.
I think it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my
And
last
someone
question.
that understands you, like someone that gets you, someone that, how you're feeling. Sometimes you don't even need to say it because that person just understands.
See, that's it. That's it as well. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, my granddad wasn't one to let me cry.
Yeah.
He's a man, and a Jamaican man at that. And he was like, right, so that's it, sort yourself out.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think just having someone that cares about you so much and loves you so and understands what you're going through, and they're fighting, and you can be like, well, if I give up, then I'm not really, following in their footsteps. And that's what I want to do. I want to prove to everyone that I can do this as well. I think that
Absolutely.
really helps as well. So my last question is, I'm gonna go back. So when you're feeling a bit of a funk, because we all do it, we're human,
Mhm.
how do you get yourself out of it quickly?
A few things. For me, I am such a tomboy. I'm not really like a girly girl. Like, some people might want to go and do their hair. That's just not me. I want to be outside, getting muddy, in the fresh air, in nature. Like, I love that. Secondly, music is one of the biggest things in my life, probably to do with like my background. I've got like an empowerment, badass kind of soundtrack. For me, music like empowers me. You could be in the worst mood ever, and then you put a bit of music on, you're like, and it's like, I don't know, the dancer performer comes out in me, and I just kind of embody the singer, and you can't help but feel good after you've done it. Also, journaling is really, really, really important, because when you're feeling a bit of funk, it's what you don't want to do is just mask over it. That's what you don't want to do. Okay. If you know where the source is kind of coming from, and you know, okay, I'm just in a bit of funk, I'm just a bit tired. Okay, then we need to just power through that. We just put some music on and we, do what things that's going to feel good for you. But if it's something a little bit deeper, then go and journal on it, because sometimes consciously you may not know what has come up. Subconsciously it knows, and it needs to come out. So sitting there journaling, so you don't have that pressure of, should I write this, should I not? There's no expectation. You can just allow yourself to be present, write it all down. You're like, you feel incredible afterwards. You literally feel like you've done a brain dump, and you can just be like, oh my gosh, yes. Also, laughter. Like, I married my best friend. He is the most funniest person in the world. Not only do I come from a very funny family, like my sisters and my mum are so funny, and my best friends. So I think it's so important to be around people that are like, lift you up, that are going to make you smile and laugh. But I definitely feel that I kind of need to recharge, because I'm such, like, with my job and who I am as a person, I'm very much a giver of energy, a giver of source, a giver of light. I need to fill my own cup up. So for me to do that, I literally have to charge my own self, and that's my own time. I love my own time. I love kind of just sitting there. I love baths, which are non-negotiable. It used to be before Michael would come in and want chats, and I'm like, no, this is me time. No Penelope, no Santi, no nobody. This is just me time. And that's for me to top it up, so that I can then wake up and feel in a great mood. And like you said, we are all human. We do have those down days, and that's absolutely fine. But you need to ask yourself kind of where this is coming from, and what can I do? What's going to serve me today? Because let me tell you, sitting there feeling crap for that one day, eating whatever you want to do, sometimes does serve you. Sometimes sitting there and watching Netflix is just what you need. But if you're going to continue in that pattern, that is not going to serve you. So that's then when you need to go, what do I need to do? Because what happens is you get into that slump where you'll just continue to do the same thing, and it'll make you feel worse and worse and worse, and you go in like a downward spiral. So you need to kind of say to yourself, right, I gave myself that 5 minutes of feeling sorry for myself, or an hour or a day. Now I need to move on. Now I need to say to myself, right, need to shake things up now.
I love that. But one thing I do love is that you brought up about music, because if someone says your name to me, I think of Badass Woman by Megan Trainor.
Yes.
Like, literally.
What a tune. I love that. And I love the fact that you say that, because I hear that so much. I get like tagged on Instagram and stuff of that song. And I'm like, this is like to empower other people just from a song, and they think of me. It's just like, it's exactly why I do what I do. And it's such a tune, isn't it? And I've got so much more as well. I also love a new one by Rihanna and Nicki Minaj, Fly. It's quite an older one, but I've just really got into it at the moment. If you haven't listened to it, listen to it. It's really good. It's like, it makes you kind of want to go, yeah, I love that.
So have you got any questions for me?
Yes, I do. I would love to know how you deal with challenges, with your pain, how you deal with that.
At the beginning, like I said, I didn't notice that it was due to mindset, but I think, to me personally, because I've been brought up to fight and to never give up, and whether I know that, some people think it's a bad way of doing it or it's a good way of doing it, my family pushed me. Like, my mum's always said to me, you are going to have to work harder than anyone else. And I think that's instilled into me. And I also think it's to do with, I wouldn't want my kids, or say my little sister, to see me upset and see me cry, and see me wallow, basically. And I think that just gave me the fire on the backside that I needed to be able to carry on. Like, even though my granddad's gone now, the thought of my granddad looking down on me and seeing me feeling sorry for myself, that gives me enough to go, oh, sort yourself out, love.
Yeah.
But no, it's not easy. It's not easy. And I'm not going to say we don't have bad days, and we don't have days where you just think, oh, really? Have I got to get up this morning? But you do. You push yourself. You have a word with yourself. And I tell myself off, and I'm like, right, get up, sort yourself out. Because that actually, once you're up and you've sorted yourself out, you will make yourself feel better. Maybe it's not physically, but mentally, you will make yourself feel better. So,
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, for sure. And there's actually scientifically proven with the placebo effect. So they gave half amount of people, they both had the same procedure, half amount of people the actual morphine tablet, the other half the placebo. And it was the ones with the placebo that was like, oh my gosh, I'm not in any pain. Mindset. They didn't have the morphine drug. So they
I
morphine can't.
remember a story you saying about with your husband.
Yeah. When I tricked him with a little gummy sweet. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I mean. It's all to do with mindset and the placebo. If I tell you something, and also it's like you're questioning to somebody. If you go, is your pain really bad today? That's a statement that you're putting to someone else. You know, is business really crap for you? You know, you're putting that statement to that person. So instantly it's taking away that kind of responsibility for me to go, you naturally go, yeah, it's bad, rather than how do you feel today? Do you feel better today? That had the difference in the question. It makes you go, yeah, I do actually. So yeah, I mean, it's incredible that like mindset is 80% worth of success. Like everybody that's successful in every different form, 80% of that is down to mindset. That is why I'm so freaking obsessed with it. I'm so passionate about it, because it works. If you put that work into that, changing that, this will change. I've got another question for you actually. So in regards to business, what does your kind of dream business, your big goal look like?
My big goal. Okay. I have a few.
Okay.
I want to open my own charity for my conditions. That's like my ultimate big goal. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Um, but also, I keep on saying it, and some people look at me like, really? Because I'm gonna say this is the truth. I was told when I was 19, I think it was, that there's only one more operation they can do on me, and I've always known that these conditions, I could go to sleep one night and not wake up the next morning. And it made me think, I want to be able, when I've passed away, to be able to look down and see people that I've changed lives, I've
Yeah.
changed their lives, or be able to go, do you know what? Oh, I know that Shanice. Yeah, I know her. She changed my friend's life.
Yeah.
That's what I want. That just gives me, like, I say it quite a few times, but I want to be able to smile. I want to teach people to, smile from the inside out,
Yeah.
rather than just be the actress and just put a
Yeah.
smile on.
Oh, I love that. That's honestly so moving. Okay, last one. Of course, what are 3 things that you're grateful for?
Okay, 3 things I'm grateful for. I'm going to change this up a little bit because I couldn't talk on Saturday. Um, I was stuttering and my conditions were playing up. So I'm very grateful to be able to talk, whether my family are happy about that or not. I'm really happy that I can talk. I am grateful for my beautiful children. As much as, I'm homeschooling and it may be a little bit more hectic with work, I love it. I love having them home. Like, if I could homeschool them all the time, I actually would.
Would
You
you?
know,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. People think I'm crazy, but I do. The school holidays are amazing. They're at
Oh,
home and we can just do what we want and play games. And I think as well that helps because I'm taking my energy, my pain, I'm taking it away. I'm
yeah.
focusing on something else,
Yeah.
and that's what it's about. I'm focusing my energy somewhere else. So I'm focused on the things that are important to me, which are my children. So
Oh,
yeah, I'm grateful for my children. And the last one I'm gonna say, I am grateful. I'm grateful for my mindset. I'm grateful that, I have the mindset that I have,
mhm.
and I'm able to get through a lot of the struggles that I go through daily
Yeah.
and have been through in the past.
Boom. Boom, shakalaka laka boom. Incredible. So powerful.
How did I know you was going to say what you're grateful for?
Did you? See, because I wanted to say actually, like none of these questions have been pre-prepped. Like you didn't send me any, I didn't send them to you. I think it's just so cool to have just an honest, authentic conversation. But it's so weird that you probably knew I was going to say, what are you
I've
grateful for?
seen the game that you play.
I do love the gratitude game. I think probably my friends and family are probably a little bit grateful of lockdown right now because I can't be around them going, so what are you grateful for? Driving them mad.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So we'll definitely have to catch up soon. And thank you so much for giving me your time, basically.
Oh, my absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much. I will talk to you later. See you later.
Take care, my lovely. Bye.
Bye.